from my home to yours. If you're anything like me, you've had a lot of time to think these past few days, and I've really just been witnessing myself and holding space as I move through a lot of different waves of feeling. And one thing that's come up for me that's really given me a lot of clarity that I really wanted to pop on and share with you is I realized as I'm witnessing these waves within myself that everything I'm experiencing is exactly what it's like when I undertake a fast or a cleanse. So I used to teach a lot about fasting and cleansing, a practice of using herbs and reducing food intake or deciding to reduce intake of other things in our lives like social media, for example. If you've ever gone on a meditation retreat, that's a kind of fast or cleanse as well. And one of the things that I would talk about when I was with my students was when you fast or cleanse, expect the unexpected. Cleansing sounds nice in theory, but it's pretty darn rough. It can be brutal at times. So what they say about fasting and cleansing, one of the reasons why it is a traditional way to connect to and hear the divine, is that we literally move closer to the door of death. We move closer to that membrane, and that membrane between the worlds dissolves a little bit. When we are undertaking a traditional fast, partially this is because we're not feeding our body as much food or maybe even no food. If you're on a retreat, then a big part of this is that you are breaking all of your routines and your patterns. Like they are over, they're not a part of your life right now. They are literally broken. And we do this, we break the patterns, whether it's the patterns of how we're living, how we're eating, etc., to draw closer to the divine and to also give ourselves a rebirth. We undertake these cleansing, fasting, and retreat practices to give ourselves the opportunity to clear out the closet of what's no longer working for us. We often are pushed to undertake an experience like this because we recognize that there is something in the systems of our lives that is just not working. And so when we're in this cleanse, however, you can have these incredibly numinous moments of like literally piercing the veil and receiving these insights about yourself and the nature of existence and how open your heart is to all of humanity and all of the living world. And then you have these major dips. You have these times where so much fear and worry is coming up to the surface. Times where you slip into what feels like a depression. And for sure, times where it feels like this fast or this cleanse or this retreat is never going to be over. Like you're just going to be in this forever and it's never going to end. And of course, that's not true. It does end. But when you are in the thick of it, it's like every moment stretches out to an eternity. And time does work really differently when you are fasting and you are cleansing or you're on a retreat. It seems like time just expands out. And it's like you're given all this spaciousness to go over all the muck and the stuff and to let it all come up and out. And when I realized how similar this is to what we're experiencing, it just really hit home this awareness for myself that this is a rebirth. And I think that this is true on a global scale as well, that just like a fast or a cleanse, we will get through this. There will be another side. There will be a rebirth. And that the truth is that our systems weren't working. There's many things that are not working for us in this world. There's many things, many programs that need to be cleansed within ourselves, many ways of operating in the world and under capitalism that really don't work for the earth. And I do feel like the earth is in a cleansing moment. And part of this cleanse is as we as humans stay home, stay, close to home, stay inside, forego travel, the earth is getting a literal break. It's been, even amidst all the craziness, it's been so beautiful to watch things like the dolphins and the swans return to the canals of Venice or the skies over China clear. It is exquisite, the cleansing and the clearing that the earth is getting right now, and it's also rough. It is also rough for us. So just like when I'm in the middle of a fast or a cleanse and I'm like, this is literally so painful and hard, is this ever going to be over? I have to remind myself that yes, it will. It will end at some point. But my only job right now is just to stay with it because so much is happening inside of me to be moving me through this rebirth. And make no doubt about it, when this is over, it is going to feel like a rebirth. in a huge way, no matter where we are as a world, as a collective, in your life. Just to be free again is going to be a huge rebirth for our spirits. So I'm really holding that candle for us all. And one of the things that I am reminding myself of is that the term to fast actually doesn't mean to do without. We think fasting means to reduce or let go of, but fast means to pledge or to bind yourself. That's why traditional marriages were called hand fasting. So we are in a fast right now. We are doing our best to pledge to help protect one another by staying home, by washing our hands. We are pledging ourselves in a deeper way to our experience of being embodied, to staying here, to staying present with ourselves. We are also pledging ourselves to this earth and to the process that she is undergoing right now. We don't know what this process is. It's quite mysterious. And yet, just by staying here, staying present, and being willing to ride the waves that are happening inside of ourselves and inside of the world, we are pledging to be here with her for this time. So one of the things that I have found to be really helpful is to take breaks from the news and from social media. I'm still checking for sure, but not as sort of maniacally as I was when this all started. And, you know, for me, one of the things that is helpful is when you're fasting, when you're cleansing, it's like you really need to protect your nervous system. And social media is amazing, but it's like a giant party. Except sometimes it doesn't feel that festive. But it's like a giant party, and so every time you open a social media app, it's like opening a door to a giant party, and that can be really thrilling and really invigorating. It can also be a lot for our bodies and our nervous system. So I remind myself of this when I wake up in the morning, and the first thing I want to do is open the door to that party, right? The first thing I want to do is open up social media, but it's literally like me swinging open my bedroom door to like a huge party going on outside, and lots of people, lots of things happening. So that has been a helpful reframe for me to be like, okay, Asia, like maybe you're not in a space right now to like be amongst a big party, but you will be in a space at some point later today or in a few days where it's going to feel good to check in with everyone. And then in terms of the news, what I liken it to is not checking the news almost has this feeling inside of our bodies and our nervous system, like turning your back on a giant wave. That's how it feels. Like you're turning your back on the ocean and a huge wave might come and you won't know it's there. So you have to keep checking. But the reality is that, you know, that wave is already here. That if you don't check the news for a day, that wave is not going to be that much different. I was checking the news like literally every hour, every half an hour, and I had to tell my nervous system, this is not you standing in front of the ocean and having a wave that's about to crash and pull you under if you turn your back on it. It's just you actually stepping away to rest and to nourish yourself. So if that resonates at all, those two things have helped me understand why my nervous system is reacting the way it is to things that I desire, like being in contact, being in the know, being in touch. And giving myself, it's helpful for me in giving myself the permission to step away and be in this process of cleansing and clearing that I'm clearly in, that, you know, my spirit is definitely moving through and maybe yours is too. So I really think that this is the time for all of us to use our tools, you know, whatever your tools are for connecting to yourself and relaxing your nervous system, connecting to your inner wisdom. We all have developed so many tools. I know everyone in this community here has, you know, is a light worker in their own respect. And my cat is too. She's coming to say hi. So, you know, we were made for this time. I know this beyond a shadow of a doubt. We were made for this time. And we will live through this time. And there will be things we can't even imagine right now that are waiting for us on the other side that will open up a lot of avenues for growth personally and in the collective. And in the meantime, we just ride those waves the best way we can, take care of ourselves and take care of one another. So I'm sending you all so much love. Till next time.